Matt Brooks, how are you?
Reese Bedell, I'm good. How are you?
You're very good, Matt. So your role with Folio, you're a property advisor.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you got into that.
Well, it actually came through, I guess, an old manager I had, and I've sort of been in the property game the last 15 years, back to when I was about 23. So, have done several roles through new builds, developments, sales, and each of the roles, I guess, that I was doing through sales has advice as kind of the cornerstone of what you're doing. You're always advising your clients as the best option for them, or the best strategy, best design, best house. So I feel like I've been doing it a long time, but now it's kind of just, it's become my profession through Folio, and particularly involved around investment and trying to build out portfolios for people and advising them the best advice that I can give.
Why do you love property?
I love it. I think it comes back to like property is what everyone needs. Everyone needs a house. Everyone loves their homes or where they're living. And yeah, it's just something that because we all need it, it's always going to be there. It's always something that we have to produce for clients or build for clients. But also, yeah, I guess from property investments, my family had a lot to do in property development from a young age, so that kind of got me interested in it in the first place. And yeah, it's just, I think, watching the emotion involved with clients when you do see results and you see them succeed in the property game, that drives me a lot. So
Now, you're very unique compared to some of the other members in the team where you spent, 6, 7 years in Perth?
Longer. I was about 9 years.
9 years in Perth,
Yeah.
Victoria for...
I grew up in country Victoria, yeah.
Grew up country Victoria, spent some time in Melbourne.
Lived in Melbourne for about...
You're now in Queensland, so
Yeah.
you've got a wide range of experience across multiple locations. And especially from a national investment side of things where Folio looks,
Yeah.
You're someone we can really lean on.
Yeah.
Where do you find, the best opportunities are in Australia at the moment?
Definitely. We're really targeting the Victorian market. There's huge opportunity there, just from obviously a value perspective. Considering most of the other markets in Australia, when we look at capitals, have moved quite a bit. So the real focus there, Perth is clearly still a front runner in terms of growth and opportunity. And I've lived in both those cities, so I've got a really deep knowledge of all the areas, all the suburbs in both cities. My mum's also half Tasmanian, so I've got a link to Tassie as well. So proud to say that. But they're the best opportunities at the moment. I think even if we look towards potentially some regional Vic markets as well, like Geelong, I've had quite a few clients looking in Geelong recently, and some really good results there. And even looking at what we were buying them a month ago to what we're getting now. So I think it's still just coming into the green shoots sort of region, and there's a lot of movement still to go.
And that's the big thing that we constantly say as a business is an area like Victoria, Melbourne, Geelong specifically, there's sub-markets within these markets. So it's really important that you get the right strategy and advice around what location to get into, because it's not every market's moving at the same pace.
That's 100% right. And there's also a lot of bad advice out there and bad strategies from people in this industry. So I think that's what we try to get across, is the authenticity of Folio, and that we're really client-based, we're really client-focused, we're really trying to buy them the right asset in the right area. That can be challenging, I guess, from a competition perspective, because we're buying in areas that a lot of owner-occupiers are buying into as well. But that is for the client to know that we're focused on the right areas as well. Because everyone's strategies are different, there's going to be, I guess, different areas that we focus on, and different types of properties that we try to align them with, because everyone's got different timeframes, different goals to reach. That's the best part about the job, is just trying to get the right strategy for the client.
Yep. We talk a lot about speculative assets. So assets that are maybe these house and land package areas, off the plan apartments, some regional plays like your North Queenslands of the world, or even Darwin to a certain extent, although it's a capital city. What's your opinion on speculative assets?
Yeah, they're obviously a really high risk play. If you're trying to grow out a portfolio and you're trying to grow as much equity as you possibly can, then it's not the right market to be in because they can move south as quickly as they move north. I think a lot of the advice I give is trying to call those sort of strategies out. So there's a lot of investment groups that do push people into speculative areas, whether they're new build areas in where there's loads of land supply still to be released or highly volatile regional markets. It's all about, I guess, pointing out what are the negatives of that as opposed to buying in an A-grade area with an A-grade asset and how that's going to perform for you long term.
Yeah. And in terms of the clients you've helped, over the years, you've obviously helped numerous clients in terms of the investment space, but particularly with Folio, what type of clients do you see and you're actively helping? Is it the first-time investors? Is it the big portfolio landlords? What's the typical client that you'd see on a day-to-day basis?
The good thing is we're seeing a lot of first-time investors, which is exciting because I think if you're a first-time investor, there's no better service to use than Folio to make sure you're buying the right asset. Yep. We've all got stories from, particularly when I was 23, there were no podcasts, there's no YouTube channels. We all made terrible decisions like on our first investment because we just didn't have the right advice. So it's great to work with first-time investors because I know that they're starting their journey in the right manner and they're going to grow their portfolio to the best ability that they can. But we also have, we've got people, or I've personally got people with, 5, 6 properties in their portfolio. And I think the best part about that is probably they did a lot of that work themselves. So just trying to look at properties or underperforming properties and try and move them out of those types of assets, try and get them to their goals of paying down their principal place of residence because they're usually carrying a lot of debt on that. So it's a huge range of clients and love working with all of them because they present different challenges. So, yeah.
Time in the market versus timing the market, where do you sit with that? Is there an element where we can look at both options for a client or where do you sit from an investment standpoint?
Definitely you can work with both options, but obviously time in the market is going to perform better long term. Timing the market is hard, but if we're trying to achieve a short-term goal, that is where we try to focus on that. But again, it all just comes back to the data, the research. Like we can't just jump into a speculative market. We have to be focused on areas that we know are going to have that quick uplift. Yeah.
If you had a conversation with a first-time investor that's looking to, buy their first investment property, what would be the one bit of advice that you'd give them?
Use Folio. No, seriously though, just get the right advice, get the right strategy, because there's no better opportunity for you to build your financial position, especially if you make the wrong decision from a first investment, it's very hard to get it back on track.